They always said I was crazy. And for most of my life, I guess I was. I never was in my right mind until I met Jesus. There was no love stronger than the love that accepts you for who you are. And that is how Jesus loved me. When we first met, I was a mess. He found me as I had been since my earliest days, mad as a wet hen. Everywhere I went, I became the center of attention. Because no one could ignore the foul-mouthed demons that lived in me. He was teaching and healing the sick in a small town by the Sea of Galilee. I was there because I was everywhere in those days. Like a nagging headache that never let you know peace. And people tried to ignore me, but I wouldn't let them. If I could have no peace, then neither could they. If I had to live with the constant torment, then I would be a constant torment to them. Don't ask me why. It's just how I was. But Jesus didn't ignore me. Even in my state of incoherent babbling and screaming, I still could understand that here was a man who cared for me as I was. No one had ever loved me like that. No one had ever reached down into my torment to lift me out. Everyone else had always expected me to reach up for them. Oh, what a cold, miserable morning it was. I don't think any of us had slept the night before. Ever since I had helped Nicodemus and Joseph place him in the tomb, I had been unable to shake the feeling that we hadn't done enough for him. Even with the extravagant amounts of burial spices Nicodemus had supplied, it didn't seem enough. Jesus had done so much for me. I simply had to do more. Even if only to attend his burial. I wasn't one to frequent cemeteries. After the sleepless night, I was bleary-eyed and disorientated. Like walking in the dark streets of a strange city and imagining that the lights represent familiar landmarks. The tomb looked strange. Different from the last time I had been there. Only a short while before. At first, it was all just a blur. The open tomb, the angels, running back to the disciples, returning with them, then being left alone there, and hating the cloak of confusion I was unable to throw off. I thought he was a gardener. Doesn't every gardener have a gardener? Someone to tend and tidy and keep the riffraff away? I only wanted to go home and sleep and forget that my master was now gone forever. But he persisted. Who are you seeking? And I still didn't recognize him. Then he spoke once more. "Who are you seeking?" And it was as if that heavy cloak of confusion was suddenly lifted away, as if the voice of an old friend had just entered the conversation. Jesus had always said my name in a warm, gentle way, like a brook gently tumbling over rounded pebbles, like songbirds just waking to the dawn. In an instant, I knew it was him. And all doubt and confusion left me. There was a tender little song we would sing in the neighborhood when I was a girl. I've forgotten most of it, except for one phrase. Know my name, call me friend. My precious Lord was alive. But Jesus was more than my master. He was my friend. He knew my name. And in his speaking, that one simple word, my name, I remember the true depth of his love for me. His love for everyone who knew him.